In the year 1918, the world was still engulfed in what was, until then, the most brutal conflict in human history. Western Europe, especially the Benelux countries, suffered immensely during World War I. This devastation was not only due to their central location between three major warring powers, Germany, France, and Great Britain, but also because Belgium was the route through which Germany launched its advance into France. Consequently, Belgium and Luxembourg transformed into brutal battlegrounds. In stark contrast, the situation in the third Benelux state, the Netherlands, was entirely different. Despite constant threats, the Dutch managed to remain neutral and independent until the war's end, avoiding all military actions. This neutrality enabled the Netherlands to protect its population, cities, and infrastructure from destruction. After the war, as the only undamaged country in the region, it experienced an unprecedented rise. The critical question is, how did the Netherlands manage to stay neutral amid one of history's greatest conflicts and threats from all sides? What did this neutrality entail in detail, and how did the so-called Einheitswurst, unity sausage, and Volkskeks, people's biscuit, contribute to this? These intriguing questions are explored in today's video. Our story begins in August 1913, about a year before World War I spread across the continent. In the Peace Palace in The Hague, the Permanent Court of Arbitration was established. This international court was intended to offer countries the opportunity to resolve conflicts peacefully, a precursor to today's International Court of Justice. This peace project symbolized the Dutch attitude of the time, contrasting with their larger neighbors' preparations for war. The Netherlands aimed for continental peace and thus pursued unconditional neutrality. However, this stance wasn't entirely selfless, as war would have been detrimental to one of the largest trading and colonial powers. Despite efforts for peace, war loomed over Europe, with all major powers preparing for a significant conflict. This reality became unavoidable for the Dutch after the assassination of the Austrian heir. Desperately, they sought to avoid being drawn into the conflict. When World War I eventually broke out, a leading Dutch newspaper expressed a common sentiment, stating, "We only want to be left alone." On August 1st, 1914, the Dutch government unequivocally declared its intention to maintain neutrality at all costs. Nevertheless, the same day, it mobilized its troops under the principle that the best defense is a good offense. Germany, perceived as the greatest threat, was feared to potentially invade the Dutch province of Limburg to advance into Belgium and then France. This fear was justified when Germany enacted its long-planned Schlieffen Plan. On the night of August 1st to 2nd, German troops occupied Luxembourg. By August 2nd, Germany issued an ultimatum to Belgium, and on August 4th, the German invasion of Belgium began, with hundreds of thousands of soldiers storming across the border and setting Belgian cities ablaze. Despite these alarming events, the Netherlands managed to avoid a German invasion. The rapid German advance through Belgium to France made an incursion into the Netherlands unnecessary. The geographical position of the Netherlands, without a direct border with France, also played a strategic role. Unlike Belgium, whose neutrality was guaranteed by France and Great Britain, the Dutch sought a balance between both sides and assured all parties of their genuine neutrality. Hey, thank you for watching our video. Researching and creating these videos is quite time-consuming, and it would mean a lot to us if you could subscribe and hit the notification bell. If you enjoy our videos, please like and comment to help us improve them even more in the future. Now, back to the video. Throughout the war, maintaining neutrality was a delicate balancing act. The Netherlands faced numerous challenges, such as German Zeppelins and aircraft violating Dutch airspace to attack Britain and German submarines attacking ships suspected of aiding the Allies, sometimes hitting Dutch vessels by mistake. Similarly, a British pilot mistakenly bombed the Dutch city of Zierikzee, killing a family. The British government eventually apologized and offered compensation. The British North Sea blockade aimed to cut off German trade with the outside world, but also severely impacted Dutch trade and access to colonies. the Dutch had to negotiate vigorously to protect their trading rights and access to essential resources, even establishing the Netherlands Overseas Trust Company to ensure Dutch imports were inspected and used solely for Dutch needs. Both the Allies and Central Powers used Dutch territory for espionage, leading to diplomatic complications. The proximity to war zones meant Dutch villages were often hit by stray shells, and the country received hundreds of thousands of refugees, including prisoners of war and deserters, complicating the situation further. As the war dragged on, the supply situation worsened. Many Dutch ships were intercepted, and communication with colonies was sometimes completely cut off, leading to food shortages and public unrest. The government tackled these challenges creatively. New products like the Einheitswurst and Volkskeks were introduced to ensure basic nutrition, fostering a sense of national unity. Political compromises on long-standing issues, such as educational reform and universal suffrage, were reached, gradually ushering in democracy. When the war ended in 1918, the Netherlands emerged as a significant victor. While Europe lay in ruins, the Dutch economy flourished due to the lack of foreign competition. Dutch industries and trade thrived, and the country saw a threefold increase in millionaires compared to pre-war times. The Netherlands also became a democratic model for Europe. A few decades later, during World War II, the Netherlands tried to repeat this strategy of neutrality, but faced catastrophic failure. Within days, Germany overran the country, and Rotterdam was destroyed in 24 hours, marking the beginning of the darkest period in Dutch history. For those interested in more details about this period, please let me know in the comments so I can create a video about it. Feel free to share your thoughts on Dutch neutrality in the comments, and until next time, goodbye.